So with this is a lot like what we were doing before, except there's a quick, easy rule that means you don't have to end up breaking up the triangles and figuring out which sides correspond to each other. So with the altitude rule, that's when you are either looking for the altitude or you have the altitude and you're looking for sides down here. The altitude rule says that the altitude, the height squared, equals this part of the hypotenuse times that part of the hypotenuse. So it's the height squared equals the two parts of the hypotenuse multiplied together. So if we look over at our example here on the right, we have the altitude, which is x. So with that x, we're just going to do x squared because that's the altitude. And then that equals the two parts of the hypotenuse here. So 8 times 18. So all you have to do now is just multiply 8 times 18, you get 144, and then take a square root, and you get x equals 12. For the leg rule is basically kind of like looking at one side of it. So if you look here, we have a squared equals y times c. So a squared is one of the legs of the big right triangle squared. That equals the part that's on the same side, like this part of the hypotenuse on the same side, times the entire hypotenuse. And on the other side, same idea, it's this leg squared equals the part on its same side of the hypotenuse times the whole hypotenuse in general. So if we look at this, we're looking for the leg, we're looking for CB. So we're going to do CB, which is x squared, and then that is going to be 4 times, and what we need the whole thing. So the whole thing is going to be, 4 plus 3, of course, which is 7. And then to solve, we're going to do 4 times 7 is 28. Take the square root of that, and we get x is about 5.3. Okay, so here's a couple examples here. So if we look at this one here, in no way does it involve the altitude. We're not looking for it, we don't have a number for it, but we do have something for the leg. So we're going to use the leg rule. And the leg rule, again, is the leg squared, so 12 squared, equals the part of the hypotenuse next to it, so like x times, and then 36 for the whole hypotenuse. So with that, let's simplify. We get 144 equals 36x. Divide by 36, and you get 4. So that piece is 4. Over here on the right, you can see we're looking for the hypotenuse, or sorry, the altitude rather, the height. The h got me confused. So remember, the altitude rule is the altitude squared equals the two pieces of the hypotenuse multiplied together. So we get h squared equals 4.9 times 10. So h squared equals 49, and then take a square root, and h equals 7.